Don't buy deer days, they say. It's not worth the money, they say. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Shane King. I'm gonna show you the long-awaited things saver deck profile. For premium, we'll start with our grade 3s. Our 2 copies of Legion Thing Saver and 2 copies of V Thing Saver. Mainly so that you don't get slow, because this you need to do it like a turn after, which is a pain because the ability to re-ride states that you cannot ride this turn. But this does not require that because Legion. So this Legion, so you can bot deck. So it's an infinite cycle deck. So because Jewel Knights put in normal units and this you'll just put in triggers, you'll never truly deck out unless you screw up somehow, or you know your opponent decks that mills you out like Fenrir. Anyway, I'll explain the skills. So basically, we'll start with Legion Fenrir. Not Fenrir. We'll start with Legion Thing Saver Dragon. Skill Legion. What Legion does, for you guys that don't know, basically it's a once per fight ability per card. So if you play it, you can once it legions. If you lose the Legion, you cannot Legion again, or if you're in Legion state, you cannot Legion. FYI. Anyway, so the skill is you put 4 cards back from your drop zone back to your deck, and then you search out Blaster Blade Seeker, and then you Legion with it, which I will show you I'll explain the mechanics a bit more. So if you place it on the Vanguard circle and you go Legion or Seek Mate, if you guys watch the anime, you'll find, so this text says Blaster Blade Seeker, and under premium rules it doesn't matter which one, so you use the V Blaster Blade Seeker, because I mean there's no D and everything, so they will merge together. They'll become one Vanguard, or 2 Vanguards that attack at 1. So how Legion works is, to calculate the power is you add the 2 powers together. So in this case it's 11 plus 10, so that's 21. The bottom skill states when it attacks it gains another 2000, so it's 23. And the crit is dependent on him. So if you are just Legioning like this, you can use Blaster Blade Seeker skill. Place on Van or rear, discard a card from your hand, retire your opponent's front or rear guard, and if your Vanguard grade is equal to or less than your opponent, you may give this crit becomes 2. Pick one of your Seeker's Vanguard and it becomes 2. So obviously you pick the grade 3, so it becomes 2. So you can swing, and so it's a 2 crit swing. And give me a moment. I got no idea where I left it. Oh, it's up here? No. Oh, it's over here. Okay. Oops. Awkward. So, if you play, let's say, a Force 1. Oh, look. Gee, I wonder why I play this deck. And then you put this. The skill of the Force marker states that any unit is on top of this marker gains 10,000 power. So the math is really funny. So it's on here. Both units are on here, so they both gain the 10,000 power buff. So it's equivalent to giving your Vanguard a 20,000 power buff, which is, well, busted. Dragon. If you guys saw the video, Overlord did the same thing, which is the reason why I lost. So anyway, the second skill of this, I'll explain this later, is you counterblast to Soul Blast 3 and you discard 2 cards from your hand, and then you write Thing Saver Dragon from your deck. So you would write V, and then it says here, and Legion it. And Legion is not required, you don't have to have the skill to Legion it. So you Legion from Soul V, which is very fitting considering they made the art match anyway. And then you can use this on play skills, Counterblast 1, call a Blaster Blade Seeker to rearguard. If you have one left, you can deck thin your way through that. And if you did not write, so the next turn you did not ride, you can soul blast and then you can do the shenanigans like this, but you can only do it once. This can do it as many as you have resource, so you can somehow counter charge or whatever. I'll explain the combo later, or you can look it up. Anyway, so that's the skill of V. Basically the whole point is to ride this to get force markers, and then you can hit harder, a lot harder. Anyway, and so if this is so, before we move on, I'll grab a G unit. We'll use harmonics just to avoid spoilers. So if this is already Legion, if it's the V thing saver, you Legion, it goes to Soul. I don't make the rulings, I just follow them. But and well, yeah, you just try it on this. But if you use, for example, Legion, this thing saver, and for some reason you choose to Legion this, it goes in the middle, but it inherits, well, obviously the higher power. But your Vanguard count, but they're both hard cards. So if you strike like Gansalot, which I've been meaning to get, I can't find it still. Your hard card is indeed a blaster, so you can use the blaster ability and quad drive into crit and everything, which is really fun. So anyway, man, premium is so complicated. Anyway, so you have 4 Think Saver Dragons. We run 4 Limit Break Solomies. Limit Break Solemn, well, the first was 11. It's gonna be, I'll explain why we run the. Actually, the interaction is really cool anyway. This is the Limit Break 4 ability. Is basically if you have 4 or more Jewel Knight rearguards. 4 more Jewel Knight. Yeah, 4 more Jewel Knight rearguards. It gains an additional 2,000 power and crit. You'll always have this. If you don't, you're fighting an opponent that knows how to stop you from doing that. Counterblast 2 Jewel Knights, which the first one will be free. I'll explain how later. And you can just call any Jewel Knights. And you want 4 because this is your first ride no matter what. This is a turn 4 deck, basically. You can go turn 3 if you want, up to you. If you're going second, you definitely can go turn 3. If you go first, don't. You're eating yourself alive. You know? So one of the reasons is we're going to stride this, because they released a premium deck set, and we're going to stride Evangeline, which, well, it has the Eratus, the history collection stride skill. Basically, you discard grade 3 act ability, and then you stride this, you get 2 force marker, yada yada yada, and you get a crest. Yay, we can have crest in premium that actually isn't like RNG and high roll. What the hell? Anyway, basically the first act ability cost, you can do it for free. Second one says the limit break ability is unlocked no matter what, and it's 13k base, so this is now 13k base, making this a 28k beat stick no matter what. And that's pretty much all that matters really. For the crest, Evangeline skill, yada yada da, flip G unit, humble Evangeline 2. So basically you stride and all your Jewel Knights get 6k, which is surprisingly quite a big number considering force markers will be on your rear guards first, then your Vanguard, because your Vanguard hits so hard. So for Solomies, and 2 Ashleys, because Jewel Knights, and Ashley's fine as your turn 4 right. Basically end of battle, so +2 called. If it's on Vanguard, call 2 grade 2 or below. If it's on rearguard, just call 1 Jewel Knight grade 2 or below, and then just call it. And if a unit is placed on top of this, counter +1, it gains a crit. Simple as that. The crit is whatever. You can do it on stride too, which is fun. And obviously we run 3 Seekers. I ran 4 in the past, but I found out that's really dumb for many reasons, and one of them is he's a dead grade 2 ride. The crit pressure is not what you're looking for. You're looking to kill your opponent on turn 3 no matter what. So you run 3 just in case you damage check one ends up in drop, and one don't know where it ends up. So that you always have 1 in deck, and plus you can cycle this through, you're fine. So anyway, first skill, I told you, you place, if it's the same grade or it's below, you know, crit, yay. Second skill, It works on Vanguard too, so if you're like 1 here and then you call it here, this becomes 2 crit 2, so kind of cool. Pointless, but cool. It's not additional crit, for good reason. And the second skill, if you did not ride this turn, you can bot deck this and draw a card. Yay, cycling! Moving on to the next grid 2s. We run 4. Let's see here. 4 Sibyl. That's crazy. I was looking at Sibyl from Dragon Empire, and that stupid ass of a unit that pisses me, that really has had a cute plush Pokemon. And you guys know what I'm talking about if you watched the Divine episode. Anyway, this first skill is you can put a card from your hand into your soul, and then you draw a card. That's all it does. You basically make soul like that, which is dumb. I barely use it. The second skill is where the fun begins. This is your ideal grade 2 ride because of this skill. When a unit is placed over this unit circle, you look at top 3 and then you call a grade 2 or below Jewel Knights and to rearguard circle, and then put the rest of the bottom. You don't shuffle, so it means you can basically filter, but you will shuffle anyway. So if you filter on normal units, you get more crits. Wow, magic. So yeah, that is that. So basically it's a plus. We run 4 Knight Lilel. I can't read, I'm dyslexic. The first skill is very useful. Attack, put 2 normal units to the bottom of your deck and soul charge 1. That's how you prevent deck out. And you soul charge 1. Hey, soul. Why? Because, again, Think Saver, Soul Blasters 3. Both versions. So you're gonna need soul. So, yeah, soul charge. And it also gains an additional 5,000 power, which is really nice. The 15k swing on force marker is 25. And any unit placed on top of it gets an additional 10,000 power. So the combo would be a unit will be called over here. So let's say she calls over here, skill. Then you call another one over here, skill, and then gains power. Basically you can swap positions, which is, oops. Oh, anyway, you get that combo. We run 3 Christines because why not? No, if you have let's see here. If you have 3 or more other rear guards, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So you want 4 rear guards basically, I believe. Yeah, 3 or more other rear guards. So you have 4 rear guards basically. 4 total, but you only have, it excludes itself. Then you basically counterblast 1, reveal a grade 3, call a grade 3. So you can fetch a grade 3 if you lack a grade 3. Basically it's to fix your hand if you need something. But it has to be Jewel Knights. Obviously you're a starter. I don't need to explain a starter because I'm only using V starters because I'm lazy and Forerunners suck in this deck. Anyway, and you need soul anyway, so what the hell. I mean, I could run Barkle, but really. Anyway, it says here, you basically the first one is you put when this at the end of the unit, this unit boost units boosted, you bought that unit and it's so charged. Cool. Anyway, that's not important. You do that so they can bounce this back to hand, so it's not a minus, it's a plus. The second skill, if any unit is placed over this unit circle, when or rear, you'll see that a lot. You can retire a unit in the same column. If you did not, draw a card. It's a plus. And also retire power. It's kind of hard to come by other than Blaster Blade. And then you have your 4 ideal grade 1s. Sorry, it's getting late. Merdevius, I don't freaking know. I mean, basically you counterblast 1, you can put a bot there in unit and soul charge. You would never use this, you need counterblast. It's precious, don't bother, you have better ways to soul charge. Second skill is very good. When a unit is placed on top of it, draw a card, no matter what. So You ride this, you draw a card, then you ride on top of it, and you draw a card again. So you're never minusing if you follow, which is surprisingly consistent. But then, whatever. 1 elementary sanctitude, Keto OT because you have grade 3s on rear guards, and plus you always have rear guard on your turn unless your opponent be funny. And I'm too lazy to get blue OT. Your 3 draw triggers because drawing's good and milling your deck is even better. And plus, if you're drawing to OT, you can put that OT later. So, 4 of your soul, your GB crits. Because I'm lazy to get Belanus. Basically, it says here you put it into soul when your Vanguard attacks, it gains additional 10 to blah, and you draw a card. Cool. It's your stride fodder because you want to stride. Wow, what a surprise. And your 4 grade 3 heals because we are not counted. Heals are our only way of counter charges. Why I don't have counter charges? Because you bought deck cards back in the deck. You just bought deck these and you're good. Always bought deck heals over anything else. Seriously, unless you're really confident you can kill them, you are not. Moving on. 1 Agnes. The Agnes skill. Counter +1, soul +1, call your whole hand. You use this in very niche situations. If all your units are locked, you get to draw 3 cards for 1 CB and 1 soul. Yay. And the alternative is if you have less than 3 cards in your hand, you can call those 2 and you draw 3. Whoa, you plus 3. That's a lot of value. Anyway, the point is if it's face up in your G zone by after you end that 1 turn, you don't need to pay a cost for stride. It's kind of niche, but hey, Link Joker matchups exist. One of her, let me check again. Can't remember all these names. Mega Noose, Faithful Sacred Staff. Anyway, the skill is basically you pick a rear guard that's grade 2 and then it gets plus 10,000 power shield, so it's 15k intercept, and it gets a red attack, so you can +1, so +1. You can, wow, what a surprise, and then it becomes a PG. Yay, you only have 1. Why? Because you counter blast the precious. This one, if you have 2 grade 2 rear guards for some reason, hey, it's a 25k shield. Because G Guardians. This one, if your opponent has a lot of hand, every other card. Every other card? What's the wording on this? Busher, what's the wording on this? Every 2 cards your opponent has, it gets a 5,000 power shield. So if your opponent farms hand, use that against them. Great. Next, 2 Marin. Now this is fun because when you're Legion with Think Saver, your Vanguard will be a blaster. It counts. It's crazy, but it counts. So you can soul +1, and you can call, if you need a lot of shield, you can basically call the Heal Guardian because you bought that heals anyway. Just call it out. A lot of shield value. Or, you know, you can call a grade 3 and filter out the grade 3s, or grade 1s, grade 2s, or, you know, you can, if you can figure out how to put in space, you can PG if you want. If you saw my MLB deck profile, I ran 2 normal PGs for that reason. So, that's the Heal Guardians, 5 G Guardians. Okay. Makes sense so far, I think. It's a wacky combo, but hey, you're gonna lose. You might as well lose in the best way. But hey, give yourself a fighting chance with this card. Divine Knight of Triumph. Oh, basically it's a premium exclusive G unit. You counter +1, you flip a G unit face up. Whoa, GB, more power. And then you basically can call as many cards as you have rear guards onto. You draw the number of cards, then you call the same number of cards. And if you have 5 more, you get a force marker. Yay! Inventory gifts! Generate more power! Anyway, so Twin Swords ability is counter +1, flip a G unit face up, and then you call 2 grade 2 card units? Twin Swords? Right? Yeah, call them to grade to rear guard circle and shuffle your deck, and each G unit face out in your G zone gets plus 5,000 power. Power! Basically, Basically, this is a pseudo crest, which is crazy. GB8 because cool. I mean, basically, if you're in GB, you counter blast 1, and then you can call 5 cards and as a text, and it gains a crit. Yeah, you never know when you need it. 3 Crystal Lusters. I have 4. I mean, I showed you guys I have 4. I'm not broke, but 3 because I find that I need the space for other cards like these. I'd rather have than another Crystal Luster because honestly, you don't really need to stride. Like, you do a lot, and striding is just like, sure, and like I rarely get past the 3rd stride anyway. Cause anyway, 1 Harmonics Messiah, your crest, which I've explained, and your 3. I contemplated 4, but I'm like, 3 is good enough, and plus you get hard card abilities. Yay! So this gets what Crystal Luster would have done, but it does more than what Crystal Luster does. Wow. And then, well, obviously I'll start it. And then whatever this is. So this is the premium deck profile. I hope I get to fight him properly another time. Because, damn it. If you guys want to see the Luar deck profile, I might consider showing it to you guys. I will have to show you guys in Dear Days because I don't own the deck. That was a borrowed deck from a friend of mine. So unless my friend haven't changed his deck profile, I doubt it. I would just show you his build, his different build. If you just like and comment, tell me if you want to see the Luar deck profile, and I'll show it to you and explain to you, and I'll try to find out what the rationale of that build was because I clearly couldn't pilot that. I'll show you my deck profile in Dear Days. If you guys want to see that, please type the comment in below, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.